Bienvenidos. Soy Bruja Espinada and I am here with your message of the week. So let's get started. When asked what is needed this week, what came out was the world. The world is telling you right now that it is time to take a rest because everything. Now, you may be going through several different situations in your life because life isn't just about one thing, right? But what it's telling you is that right now, there is a situation that's come to a completion. There is something that's come to a close. And it's time to take a rest. And it's a reminder for you to take a step back and to just admire what you've accomplished. Admire and appreciate what's come out of this learning, this time of learning. Every moment is a time of learning. Just remember that. And that's what the world is trying to tell you, is the world is constantly moving. It's always cyclical. And that's what it's letting you know, that right now is a really good time to take a step back, admire, rest, build your energy, because it's the world. It doesn't stop moving. It's a cycle. So even though right now is a moment of rest to gather yourself, it's because something new is coming. And just to be aware of that. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's anything bad, so quit that negative bullshit. Just remember that it's a series of moments in life and just something new is coming in. Try to maintain a positive outlook. It's time to take a rest. That's what's needed right now. Now, how do you go about getting the rest? Because you can say, oh, well, I did nothing all day. That's not necessarily resting. Sometimes it could be used as a tool to be avoiding, which is not good. Anyway, so what is needed? What came out was the Knight of Blades and the Ten of Elixirs. Very, very good combination, these two. So the Knight of Blades is telling you that it's time to break free from old bonds. And that's one of the things that comes with this completion. You're realizing things that are important. Remember, it's telling you to admire everything that you've gained. So it could be knowledge, it could be information, it could be a new sense of feeling, a new emotion, whatever it is that you've gained during this learning cycle. It's telling you that it's time to realize what no longer serves you. It's a knight. It has to do with protection and protecting yourself. That's what's needed, especially when you need to rest and appreciate what you have earned. It's time to start cutting out the bullshit. Now, it's pretty tough, especially when it comes to the connections that we have with certain people, whether it's in our jobs, whether it's in our familial life or romantic life, it doesn't matter. But what it's telling you is when something is stagnant and no longer serving you and causing you harm, the Knight is here to tell you that it's time to cut those ties. Especially when it's time for you to start appreciating your life, because it's kind of showing that there's no appreciation allowed because of these bonds that need to be severed. So what the Knight is telling you is, if it doesn't seem easy because of whatever connections you may have, one thing you can do is start picturing what it is that you want for your life. It's think about what you would cut out of your life if it was possible. Without any hesitation, what would you cut out of your life? And it tells you to get your shit together, to take control and get it done. Because sometimes, like I said, we do a lot of avoiding, and that needs to stop. That needs to stop now, especially when you can't properly enjoy your life. You can't properly enjoy all that you've earned because of these ties. So cut that shit out. Now, should you do this, what came out is the Ten of Elixirs. The Ten of Elixirs is the most abundant card. It has to do with comfort, harmony, love, bliss, happiness. This can be yours if you let yourself be happy. Start making the changes that you need to make in order to allow yourself to admire your hard work. Now, when asked what needs to be given, what came out was the Chariot and the King of Elixirs. Now, the Chariot has a lot to do with movement, but not just movement. It's telling you that right now is the time that you are able, you have the capability right now, just with your willpower and determination alone, you can move mountains. And it's also telling you though that this can only be done if you set out on the right path, cutting out the bullshit. You need to understand that with the Chariot, it's telling you that you have a lot of power, whether you believe it or not. Now, I've explained in the Chariot card before that it's like you're leading a chariot and you have these horses and they're all trying to go in different ways. But you have the strength and the power to rein all that in and take control of it. And that's what this card is a reminder of. What needs to be given is you kind of need to let go of the idea that you can't control anything. You clearly can. You've gotten this far being able to control the situations that you've been in, because sometimes it's multiple bullshit situations at once, but you can control that. You have the willpower, you have the determination to do it, whether you're tired or not. But regardless of what may be coming, and changes are coming, because that's what the Chariot signifies. They're coming and they're coming fast. Just like this card is telling you, rest up because we ain't done yet. Hand in hand, these are just telling you that you know, that's why you need a rest. Because you have all this strength and ability and you're gonna need to use it. Because again, time doesn't stop, moments don't stop, the world doesn't stop. We just keep going and we get stronger in the process. Now with the King of Elixirs, the King of Elixirs is just a reminder to enjoy the little things, paired with this one. So in hindsight, these two have a lot to do with this card. It's just a reminder. It's time to rest up. Admire what you've been able to accomplish. Enjoy it. You're not, because here with this card is a big signifier of it. You're not letting yourself enjoy it. That's why it's telling you like this is what needs to be given. This is what's needed to achieve this rest, admiration, acceptance. You need to be able to cut out the ideas and the people that hold you back from truly enjoying your peace, enjoying contentment. That's a part of life. It's not always being on the go, go, go and not being able to enjoy the little things. Otherwise, are you really living? Food for thought. Now, when asking the Oracle what the lesson of the week was for you guys, what came out was compassion. Compassion is one of the most strongest and most complex of human emotions, because it's not just about having compassion for others, but also having compassion for yourself. You treat others the way that you want to be treated, essentially, and yet you don't treat yourself that way. You just give, but you have to have compassion for yourself. And that's what this card is telling you. It is a reminder to breathe and to have sympathy for yourself and your situation. If you would give the advice to someone to cut toxicity out of their life, to cut out all that bullshit, why don't you do it for yourself? Practice what you preach. And that's what this card is reminding you. It's reminded in a lot of it. It's that all this peace and happiness can be yours. And a lot of the time it's like you don't let yourself rest. You don't let yourself take a breather, because there's always that little nagging feeling, but oh, but I gotta do this. Oh, but this. Oh, but that. Oh, but bullshit. Take a rest. You're not a damn robot. Like, you have to remember that you're a human being with feelings, emotions, and controlling all of that isn't very healthy. And it's also seen when asking the Divine Feminine of the message for the week. What came out was Umoja, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, and Freya. Now, the message from Umoja, she is the goddess of all that flows. She's the goddess of the oceans, of water, of all that flows. And her message is, I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists inside of me. Her message is, despite the fact that we are on land, Nothing can survive without water. Nothing. Nothing can survive without water. We are made up of water. And her message is a reminder to sometimes go back to the water. Literally, we're made up of water. So sometimes, have you ever noticed that a baby, when you bathe them, or even some animals, not like cats or anything, but most living things are calmed by water, just watching water, floating in water, whatever it can be in regards to water, nourished by water. Sometimes you have to just take yourself to some water. Maybe drive out to a canal or a river, a lake, the ocean, and just sit there and just take it in, or even wade in it. And that's kind of cold right now in the northern hemisphere, but just be around water and it'll help you center yourself. Or even if you're in the shower, just imagine yourself being cleansed by the water, not just literally with like soap, but figuratively, spiritually, just washing all that negativity flow away and gaining a sense of strength, letting the strength come out of it. She also wants you to she creates flow where there was a block or stagnancy. So sometimes we are so stuck out of water that we need it to wash away again, whatever's hindering us, holding us back, severing what needs to be severed. She wants to cleanse us of the thoughts that are holding us back. So it's that time. That's what she's reminding you, that there needs to be some flow. There's been some stagnancy that's not helping you, and that needs to be worked on. The message from Freya, she is the goddess of discernment. And she says, I spend my time wisely, so only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. She's a reminder that nothing is obligatory except breathing. Think about that. Nothing in this world, we're not obligated to anything in this world except to breathe in order to live. And that's something that we have to really understand, that we have everyone else's ideals of what needs to make us a good person pressure us into doing what they want, and that's not good. So that's why she's a reminder to cut what no longer serves you. Cut that bullshit out. Don't let other people's expectations hold you down, except the idea that you need to keep breathing. She wants you to unapologetically choose the life you actually want to be living. She wants you to make your yes a holy again by only using it when it's the truth. We often get bogged down by having to feel forced to say yes because of moral obligations, familial obligations, other partnership things, and other people's expectations. And unfortunately, if it makes you unhappy and you can't be compassionate with yourself, you need to cut that shit out because it's not serving you. Yes, you have familial ties and you feel like you have an obligation to it. That's not bad. However, if there's other forces that are making it bad, that are turning the situation bad and not letting you live that full enjoyment, then it doesn't serve you. And that is a lesson and message for the week. I hope it helps, and I'll see you guys next week.